Hello friends, welcome back. In the previous video, we have discussed about the egui, what egui is and where it fits in the Rust ecosystem, how it works. And also we have checked the other GUI frameworks options available. And today we are going to discuss one of the most important topic in the egui, which is called the widgets. And widgets are the building blocks of any GUI application, and every GUI application without widgets, it doesn't make any sense to it doesn't make any sense of the GUI application or the desktop application. So whenever you are interacting with the like GUI application, it means you are interacting with the widgets. And also today we are going to explore the most common and the important widgets. So let's just start. And I have already created the new fresh copy of the cargo project. So the first thing which we need to add the iframe. Okay, and I will create iframe and you have to wait for it. It gets added. And now back the normally iframe gets added 0 variant edit. So first thing is the uh we need to iframe and egui create the main function and insert of frame options or the native options and the default one. Okay. So now what we will call the running native, and this time title will be widgets, and we already created the native options. This will be a box. For creating the box, first create the app and the attribute is with the new pass the closure and that app default and okay. So now what? We need to add the implement for the iframe app or I just call the function UI, and we are not going to use the frame. Okay, so the first thing we need to add the egui central panel. For now, ignore the central panel. I will explain in the layout section, in the layout part of the video, which in the future. So please ignore it for now. So we are going to use the default, and there is a show function. We have the UI, and we need to pass the layer of as well. Okay. With this, the help of this Flow UI, we are going to create our first widget, which is the heading. And you can say that widget, yeah, let, okay, me say it again, and let me run the application. Compiling because we have added the iframe create first time. Wait for it and hope we don't get any errors. Okay, so our window gets created, and as you can see, and this is the heading widget and uh the default one. Okay, so let's we have this now. Sure, you guys, you might be thinking like how we can like customize or make like the change the style of this widget. There is an option. You have to get the again the UI heading call this method, but this time we are not going to pass the string directly. And if like anywhere in your application, you need the text customizable. You have to use the eBury. There's a rich text struct available, and you have to pass new text. And this time we are going to use the same uh, string, but we have to. And now, if I add the dot operator, you will see we there are a bunch of the options available for us now, and like we can change the uh like make it italic. We can change the size of our text. We can change the color. So for now, we will add the color, and this time we are going to use again. We use the eGUI. There's a color 32 struct available, and we have the default colors available like the red, green, blue. If I type it red, we have the red, dark red, light red, and these are the default colors on the struct available. And also you can add pass the RGB values on your own, like a from RGB function, and you can pass your custom RGB of your choice. So right now I'm going to use the red one, and also we can change the size. For that, we are going to use. And also most of these like the number where the numbers are involved in the function, we have to pass the numbers. These are the type is mostly of the F32, so we need to pass the decimal number. Think 30.0 will be enough. Okay, so, and I know this is the first time, if you are watching this TV for first time, and don't get confused. If you try to practice it, it will make sense. So when I first saw the GUI code, it was a very lengthy code, and I was confused as well because there are so many functions within functions and the structs, and these are there are so many things involved. So don't get bored and pass out due to these kind of the like the different kind of a syntax involvement. It makes sense if you try to practice one, two, or more than two or three, four times. It will make more sense. Then you can easily create any widget. And also, like if you create this heading and pass the rich text, most of like in anywhere where the text is involved, you can use the rich text, this EUI rich text, and the syntax will be same and everything will be same. And for the second or third time, it will make more sense. Okay. So now, also there is a one another thing which is called the separator. It's a method, and by adding this line. So let me run the application again, and you will see the difference between the default widget and the widget we have created, which we customize by using the different styles. Uh, so as you can see, the font size is different as compared to the default one, and also the color is different. And this is the separator, the line separator which we have added. So there are so many cool things available using the eGUI. So now what? And also, I think we should add the widget. And now what? We will add the label. We'll try to create the label widget, which is same as the heading, but by default, the heading, the font size of the heading will be larger as compared to the heading. So let me create the label widget now. And this time we are not going to use the array styles. We simply have to use the default one. Enter your username. Okay. Now this will create the label. And let's create another widget will be input field widget, where we can type our values, where we can type anything. Input field widget, and this time we are going to use the edit single line. I know the function name is so lengthy, but you have to write it. Don't have any other option. So we have to pass the text, but as you can see, we have to pass the mutable text. And let me show you another thing. So this, my abstract, think of it is like a state of your application. Okay. Let me create the username here, and it will make more sense. And now what? We will pass the mutable reference to the, and we have the this UI function have the self param and call the username. Okay. So now what? There's another widget we have to add some space between the, let's say we have to add the margin top. Let's say we have the label, and this time we are going to call the format method. If viewer username is username will be dot username, and we need to add the some kind of a margin top above this label where we are going to show where the display the username to the user. There is another method called the add space, and this will expect the spacing. Also need to pass the 32 value, the decimal point number value. And also, I think we are going to use this will we need this in multiple places. So instead of like hard coding this the and here we can create a constant called the spacing top 2 and 10.0. So if you want to change our want to reduce or increase the margin top, you can simply have to change in one place. And instead of 10 ones directly, we can space top. Now let's try to run the application again. Okay, we saved it. Okay, let's run it again. It's just straight away in short. Okay, so I forgot to save it. Okay, right. Okay, so we can see the enter your username. This is the label widget, and we can see the input field widget. And now we have the username. Let's track the username. As you can see, the- this ending in the level. Yeah, perfectly fine. Okay. Now add the separator again. Okay. So we have explored the heading, label, and the input field. So now what? There is another widget which is called the spinner, and you simply have to call this method, and you will see the change. You will see the spinner on the screen. You can see the spinner. Cool, working with the egui. Everything is so simple. You just simply have to call the widgets. And now we can call the separator again. Line grade. Okay. So now what? So there is another cool widget which is called the hyperlink, and we just simply have to add the link and let's say the com. Let's try to run the application again, and we will see the cool hyperlink. And also, if you want to add the label, and there's another way called the hyperlink to method available. The first param will be you have to pass the label name, and the second will be the link to the website, will be youtube.com again. And let's try to run it again, and you will see there will be a label YouTube. And if I click on that YouTube, okay, okay, we have explored the hyperlink as well. And now what? And what else? Oh, yeah, you can create a checkbox as well. But for the checkbox, we have to add something to our app to construct kind of a value, the mutable value, which because when you click on the checkbox, there is some value on and off situation. So we can say that dark mode. Let's say we have the dark mode, and uh, let's I think get the UI dot checkbox. As you can see, the check will be immutable self dot dark mode. This will be a label. We will see checkbox on the screen with the dark mode on and off is okay. And also Let me give you this some side knowledge. Like let's say make sure, like let's say you want uh the dark mode default value will be true by default. Right now, if you see its default value is false, then what you need to do? You have to because we have added the default attribute here. What we can do? Uh, there are two ways of doing this. The first one is using the default, and we will go are going to create for the my app. Okay, and the function will be not new but default. Okay, so we are going to pass the self. The first name will be the first initial username will be string new, and then we have the dark mode. By default we are going to pass it through. Okay, so this is the one way of doing it. And also you have implemented the default the of for your my app, so we don't have to use the built-in one. You have to remove it. Now everything will be fine. Now you will see the default value will be, that's the side knowledge, nothing related to the widgets. uh Let me try to run the application again. You will see the default value is jacked now. So it's so that's so cool. And now what? This was the one way. And there is another way of creating the same thing. We can do that. We can say that add implement blog for the my app, and we are going to create the new, and we will call the username here with the string new, and the dark mode will be of course the true. Okay, and dark mode will be true. But we have to change one thing, because we have, as we have removed the default attribute, we need to use the new here. Okay, so maybe it's resolved because there are so many parentheses in word. Okay, so the dark mode is by default true now. So right now we are going to stick with this new my app new. Yeah. So what else now? We have the dark mode. Now we have the checkbox. So let's create the radio button. So we have explored the heading, label, the spinner, the separators, the input field, and the hyperlink, the checkbox. Now let's try to add the radio button, radio value. And before doing that, let me the enum. Let's say the enum is the position, and we have the first, second, and third position, and the position will be position. And what else? Need to pass the default value for the position as well. Can say that position will be getting any error. So let's try to explore the radio UI dot radio value, and the current value will be well, we need to pass the current value will be and mutable self dot uh, position, and need to pass the position first, and the label will be okay. Three times will be of position. We only need to change the second here, and we will have to add third, and also we need to change the label. Will look much cleaner now. Okay, so we have the radio buttons available first, second, and third. As you can see, we can click on the any value, change it. Okay, the slider. As you can see, if I click on the I add the dot operator and I check for the slider, there is no slider available. That will be great because I have to explain one. There's a very important function which is called the add. The very important method. If you are if you simply try to add the any widget on your window, you are trying to add it, adding it, or it's a custom widget, you have to use the add method for that. And as you can see, the UI dots, there is no slider available, but on egui we have the slider available, which we will call, and we will call new. We have to pass the slider value. Okay, let's say the value will be near the age here. Age will be about 32. Let's say sunset 32. And by default, the age should, because age can't be started from the zero, so age will be 1. Let's say it's 1. Eh, Okay, so we need to add the value first. Value will be from the and mutable self dot age. We need to pass the range here. Well, from 0, not 0, from 1 to 100. And also we can pass the text, which will be, we can say, now you will see the perfect slider, and we got the right no y require a pound associated function. Mm, n- intro- Maybe this will work. Right, well. Okay. So we got the age, we got the label here with the age, and we can change the slider value. Okay. And see, 1 to 100 is very cool. Now, uh, the best and the most important widget, which every if you need it, without the button, you can't trigger anything. So let me create a button. So if you call the UI dot button here, you can easily pass the string in. You can say that submit, and this will create the button on your window. Okay, as you can see, the submit button gets created here, and if I click on it, nothing will happen. Okay, let me show you why. The submit button, if you really want any kind of the button and you want to trigger some kind of the action on that button, you have to wrap it inside the if block and say that UI dot button. Let's say the text is submit. If I click on the I add the dot operator, there is a click method available, and we can easily click submit button. Click. Let me try to yes, the let me try to run the application again. And this time, if we click on the submit button, you will see we can see in the console the submit button. Okay. Now what? Let me clear this and exit it. Okay. So this is one way of creating a button. And now there's another way. Let's say we have the variable called play button. You can create the play button from play, and now you can say that play button dot can easily call the dot clicked method on this play button variable as well. Another way of creating the button. Yeah. And what else? So if you want to customize this button, and or if you only want to customize this string, of this or the text of this button, you simply have to use the rich text, which we have you already seen in the heading. Bit. So now let me customize this button, and we will change the background and as well as the text color of that button. You can say that UI dot what do we need to do? Not the button. We are going to use the UI dot add function, add method here, and we can say the egui, use the button and new will be the string, but we are going to pass the rich text. I know it's confusing for the first time. It will be confused. You will get confused, and also because there are so many methods within methods involved, and the but without that this we don't have any other option. But if you try to practice 10 to 15 times, or you try to like spend a 1 day with EGUI, this all will be so simple. Believe me, this all will be so simple. So let me add the rich text. This time we are going to pass the possibility. Text will be let's say it's a submit area. And you should have to add the UI dot is here. Mm, we need to pass the color, and color will be GUI of color 32, and this time the text color will be white. And also we have used the GUI button. A at the dot operator here, you will see many options available. And there's a in display. Let's see. Uh, dot operator. Where is the kid? Available last. Okay, yeah. Last uh have the button new. If I add the dot operator here, you will see the option like the fill option. Now this part is not related to the rich text. It is the method of the button, GUI button, and you can pass the color here. Let me add the GUI color of 32 will be blue this guy. Let me okay, maybe a light blue. Uh, try to run it. This time we are going to show the name. Okay, and age. M and storage. Now you would see customize button. Okay, as you can see, okay, the button is not visible. Let me change it to not light blue, just simply blue. Okay, as well. Save it and and okay, so the button is blue now. As you can see, the text color is white, the button is blue, and if I click on multiple times, you will not see name, but the age. We have the default value of the age, and you can pass the default name value as well. But this time, let me add this my name and change the age. If I submit it, okay. So as you can see, the name start and age 35 is printed on the screen. So these are the most common and the important widgets. If you really want to make any desktop application, you will have to use these widgets, and you can easily customize all of these widgets as well, which I have shown you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will also push the code and add the link in the description as well, so you guys can see or directly run this code and by exploring different kind of things, and you can apply different functions, different methods, and different styles to your widgets. Yeah. So that's it for now. And in the future video, in the coming video, I think we should have to explore the layouts, which is the most important thing as well. And without the layout, you can't like test different on the your window in the proper order. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.